Hello, Muck Reviews here, and today I'm taking a look at Superhot. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe for more reviews like this. So Superhot is a first-person shooter game with a bit of a puzzle element thrown into the mix. It plays just like most other first-person shooters, except for one huge difference. Time only moves when you do. Now it's hard to overstate how central this premise is. It pretty much is the game. I can't think off the top of my head of other games where this is more the case. The narrative is that you are some sort of hacker/gamer and you've got your hands on a file from your friend that you perhaps shouldn't have. It starts off innocently at first, but slowly you begin to push away your hacker buddy and then fall into a rabbit hole of Matrix-like questioning of reality and techno-conspiracy. Now you've got to say that the time mechanic in this game is brilliantly innovative. It's fantastic fun to play out your own time-bending fantasies. The levels start out simple enough, teaching you the basics, but quickly develop to add additional weapons, enemy numbers and layout complexity. You need to fight your way through scenarios taking out all the bad guys. Dodging, lobbing bits of the environments to stun, stealing weapons and shooting can all be used to get you through it. Although there's no in-game encouragement for it, it feels great trying to beat the levels in the coolest and most badass ways. You are the director of your missions. Death is unforgiving and you'll often find yourself staring down a bullet, knowing there's nothing you can do to get out of the way. But that's okay. Each death acts like a recon mission, giving you a little more insight for your next attempt. Also, death can be instantly negated with a quick press of a button, respawning you right back in to try again. When you do successfully complete a level, you can watch back your performance in full speed, rewinding and slowing down your coolest moves. Unfortunately, this is accompanied the entire time with the continuous banal super hot.
Super hot.
Over and over. It makes the replay function almost unusable. It's a decision that plays into the narrative, but it is truly awful to have to endure. Speaking of narrative, well, it hardly exists. The idea is that the game is self-aware. It openly tells you that you are playing a game, pretends it can see you, gleefully states that there is no plot. The truth is, the plot is nonsense, eye-rollingly presented as being some genius subversion. Honestly, it didn't need a plot, but this lazy attempt to seem clever is so transparent. Equally, the main menu is also covered in gibberish that leads you down dead ends and holes of nothing. As you progress through the levels and the initial buzz from its unique gameplay wears off a little, you begin to notice that most levels are quite similar. Once you learn how the game works and how enemies attack, how long it takes to reload, etc., most levels offer the same experience in a different, yet all still white, setting. Aside from the final mission, the difficulty through the game hardly moves. Your control over time is so powerful that 3 or 10 enemies can feel pretty much the same as you systematically move through them. Only maybe 5 of the 26 playable levels felt truly unique and prompted you to use your ability in an overly creative way. A highlight for me was the elevator mission. After many attempts, I realised I could use one enemy as a human shield and then dispatch the other 2. This was the only time I used an opponent as a human shield, and it was forced through creative design. I wish I was forced to think like this by level design a lot more during the game. Late on, an ability to possess an enemy is learned, but other than when it's introduced, it becomes pretty irrelevant, never again needed to complete a level. Another example of wasted potential. On a more positive note, everything that is there is super stylish. The bright red geometric enemies stand out against the clean-cut white backgrounds. The sound of crashing glass shattering as enemies flinch and convulse from when they've been shot looks even better in slow motion. Levels seem to give nods to classic sets from film and TV, environments from the likes of mobster films, James Bond and The Matrix all on show. The main campaign takes around 2 to 3 hours to complete. It feels short and undeveloped, especially when considering a decent chunk is wasted on nonsense. Luckily, once the campaign is finished, it allows you to replay missions with different challenges, such as katana only mode, and gives you access to endless mode that tasks you with staying alive for as long as possible in various locations as more and more red guys approach. Summing it up, Superhot is one fantastic idea, played out as far as it could, and then given little help to stretch that out into a full game. Gameplay is compelling at first, but it's not long before the game starts to feel like a tech demo, and it pretty much is. Clearly made for VR, it has one mechanic and that's it. Level progression isn't great, with a gentle difficulty rise, but with very few fresh ideas ever being brought to the table. So much more could have been done to add variety. with levels that force you to think or added gameplay mechanics. The narrative will have you getting tired of its faux deeper meaning quickly as it pads its runtime with hot air. Challenge and endless modes bring the game back and focus on what it does best, but its simplistic nature won't hold your attention for much longer. The game is undeniably stylish, but that says it all. Style over substance. I give Superhot a 6.5 out of 10. Have you played this game? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you have enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. See you later.